My name is Jason.
And my name is David.
And this is a comic strip AP of Dungeon World featuring the story of Domenico Castafiel. And when we last saw Domenico, he had just struck a deal with a demon, maggot, godling thing. We haven't quite defined what he is precisely, but its name is Melchior. That's important. And the deal is he's going to help you with Lady Francesa. And after he helps you with Lady Francesa, you are going to kill Iotho Bruno, a former, sort of former nobleman or a former associate of yours, right? First, however, he wants confirmation that Iotho is still alive. And just so that you know, David, and just so that listeners understand, he seemed to be concerned about his, quote, brothers and sisters escaping into the world. There was an intimation that he wants to prevent that, and I want to make sure that's clear, okay?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, so why don't we just go ahead and zip straight forward to that? Is that okay? I feel like we're good in the Black Nest right now. I think we've gotten a lot out of this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see what Iotho's up to.
So I think just before we do that, let's say that Mog, who is still under your charm, let's say that she's going to go ahead to Lady Francesa's to begin preparations or something like that. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And you will have the little creature, Melchior, on your person, okay? Let's have the scene open with you on one of the canals on a gondola.
Okay.
You, gondola rower, moonlight hitting the water, very similar to how we started this series, right? And you are being gently propelled through the water. It's a fairly quiet night. As you are making your way up the canal to Iotho's, you will see a huge number of fish swimming close to the surface in the opposite direction of the gondola. So many, in fact, that the gondola actually stops and runs up against them because there's so many. They're so clustered to the surface. And it takes a bit for them to pass before it can continue. How do you feel about that?
I'm just ignoring the gaze of the ferryman. I don't need this right now. I have a sort of half cloak on, and inside, in the inner pocket, that is where Melchior is, and I'm looking at him as all these fish are bumping up against the bottom of this flatboat.
Indeed. Eventually, you get to the little quay or post or whatever where you'll get off in front of Iotho's manse. As you approach, though, you're going to notice something that's very striking. Perfectly dark. No torches or lanterns lit. No activity. Iotho, if you'll recall, he's a big spender. He's a really flashy, ostentatious guy, right? Nothing. It's just dark. You can see all the windows that allow you to see inside the rooms, and it's just dark. And the gondolier turns to you and says, "It's been quite a while since I've dropped anybody off here. Weeks and weeks. Funny, I used to make a lot of money here with Mr. Bruno's parties."
Well, you'll make a little more money tonight. Please hold the gondola for... How long will this keep you? And I hand him a few coin.
And he takes it and he says, let's just say it's time for my midnight snack. And then he sits down and pulls out some food. I think you have until he's done eating.
Sure.
Well, so what do you do?
Yeah, I will approach the main entrance, the entrance that once was so ostentatiously decorated, the entrance that I once flashed some great prestidigitation to impress all of the guests.
Yeah, I remember that moment. The gate's chained closed, but there's no guard, there's no nothing. The place looks condemned almost, right? Like no one's been there in weeks.
Is there a way in?
You can do it to certain realities if you're kind of checking things out.
So, boxcars.
Nice. You can ask away.
What here is not what it appears to be.
As you're looking around, I think this is like a several story building, right? And there are big arched windows, that go up. And at a glance, it looked like there were ropes or streamers or something on the inside of the windows. And as you look a little closer, you see that's not it at all. On the other side of the windows, inside the building, there are what appear to be like thick membranes, kind of glistening and slick.
Okay. What here is useful or valuable to me?
There is a portion of the wall surrounding it's really more of a palazzo, I guess. The sort of like iron spike fretwork is not there. Like it's like been either taken down or destroyed or something. Like it needed to be replaced. You could probably just hop the wall right there.
Yeah, I'm hopping the wall. I'm examining this membrane thing and really, really wondering what happened here recently.
Yeah, if you get a little closer to the window, like one of the windows, you'll see it. This is on the other side, like it's on the inside of the building. And in the sort of ambient light from the street, you can see that it's kind of like got kind of a reddish hue to it. It looks organic. It looks slick. And it seems to be gently pulsating, maybe? And so my answer is something here took root.
All right, so I'm on the other side of the wall now. And is there anything else barring passage into his palazzo?
I mean, you got a couple of options. I mean, you can smash a window and just crawl in. The front doors are probably locked, right?
Hmm.
There appears to be no one around.
Yeah. Sure. We'll just pick up a stone off the ground and go through a window. Undignified though that may be.
Indeed. Inside, let's say you enter through what appears to be a dining room or something. Inside, you will see that this thick red membrane, or like a vein maybe, you'll see that like it's part of a network that stretches across the walls and up the ceilings and hither and thither. Things look mostly in place, except where they're not, where maybe struggles happened. It's unclear. But there's a thick layer of dust over everything. And the place has a smell that I guess I would describe to us as chemical. What do you do?
I look at Melchior. Does this mean anything to you?
As you look into the pocket where Melchior is, you will see that Melchior's eyes, his little tiny eyes, have turned red, and his little tiny mouth is open and his tongue is lolled out to the side, and he appears to be swaying back and forth to like a song only he can hear.
I'm just going to hop back out the window and get a little bit of distance and see if he recovers himself.
He does. Yeah, he'll snap out of it a little bit. Like he he's always just kind of looking left and right and kind of making little gurgly slurping noises, but he definitely seems like more of himself, I suppose, as you get a little further away.
What just happened to you, creature?
It fixes its eyes on you and lets out a little faint sort of hissing noise, and you'll hear his words in your head. There's not much time to spare. We may have to renegotiate our deal, I fear.
Rather than renegotiate, let's go take care of Lady Francesa at once.
And he kind of turns and looks back at the manse, and like his little eyes like widen, and he kind of like bares his little teeth, and he just begins to make those terrible, like kind of like desperate hissing, growling sounds, but they're tiny because he's tiny. Like, and while he's doing this, he says, "Don't you see, you fool? There's no time. There won't be time to save any of us if we don't act now.
We had a deal. First Lady Francesa, then Iotho.
Hi, this is Jason from The Gauntlet. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. We have many other Comic Strip AP shows available, each organized in their own sequential playlist for easy listening. Just go to youtube.com and search for Gauntlet RPG.